disappointed that I didn't get the same level of excitement as the student speeches. No claps? No? I think it's because we're the only thing standing between the cookies and themselves right now. So this is a really special group for me, and most of them don't even know why, but I'm curious from the students, how many of you have been here 3 or more years? Raise your hand. 3 or more years. Okay, now, if you've been here since kindergarten, raise your hand. So this was my first group that I came in with. So I worked at the high school, taught at the high school for 11 years, and I came down to elementary, and I started with this group of kids when they were in kindergarten in Mrs. Law's class, Mrs. Guerin's, or Mrs. Adams. And so that's why you're the first group that's gone all the way through with me, and so it makes it pretty special. I will also, I'm not ashamed to admit it, I worked with 18-year-olds, and I came down, and when I saw 5- and 6-year-olds, it was hugely intimidating. Still, some days it is. There's some things I want you to know heading into 7th grade. We worked with you guys a long time, and it's not just 7th, it's 7th, it's 8th, it's 9th, it's 10th, all the way through the rest of your career. You guys are going to a new, unfamiliar environment, and if you look around and you turn around, you have teachers, and you have classified staff members, and you have parents and guardians and friends and family, and they will be there for you. And we will still be here for you. And you'll probably be back on those off days at middle school trying to help out, playing basketball. I may have to go out and play. You can't be on the playground. It's important that you know, and the first piece of advice I give you is to find your trusted adult, wherever they're at. So first of all, I want you to find your trusted adult today, turn around, and I want you guys to give them a round of applause for all they've done for you. The second thing I want you to think about is to be yourself. And I always share this story. When I was teaching, I taught a junior leader class. And so these are juniors in high school, and I asked them one day, I said, I want you to write down what you think about when you're walking through the hallways. And I'll never forget their responses. So I asked them to write down. They didn't have to share. Some shared out, but they had to turn them in. And they wrote and they shared things like, I think people are looking at the scratch on my face. I think they're judging the clothes that I wear. I think they're wondering why I'm walking by myself. And what I found so interesting with that, so fascinating, was the fact that everybody was so worried about themselves and their insecurities and kind of judging themselves that what they don't understand is they never had time to judge anybody else. It's just not how we do it. And so I told them, and we really were, this is just an ongoing conversation throughout the trimester with that group, is be yourself. And there was a quote that I love, and it says, everybody wants to be new and different. But everybody wants to be new and different. But if they were just themselves, they'd be the most different person in the world, and everybody would want to be them. That's kind of the gist of it. And so when you go to middle school, you're going to be, again, with 220 different kids. You're going to be involved in things you haven't been involved with. There's going to be times where you're like, do I change or do I shape myself to fit what this group wants, or do I stick to who I am? And so I want you to remember, be yourself, you're good enough. And then there's always going to be that one. I had a student raise their hand and they said, what if myself was doing the wrong thing? And I was like, in that case, do the right thing and then be yourself. So always be yourself. Number 3, the third thing I want you guys to think about is to get involved. How many of you have been involved in, raise your hand, we just did safety patrol, band, orchestra, choir this year, sports, could be piano. Raise your hand if you're involved in one of those. And I know sports aren't necessarily through the school. You guys need to continue to be involved. Involve yourself with all kinds of things, and try to get in areas where you're uncomfortable, because you never know what you'll find is a passion of yours. So when you go next year, you're going to get in groups, you're like, maybe this isn't my group of people. Well, maybe it is. Or maybe it's where you find your group of people and you find your niche. There's all kinds of things to do, and it doesn't have to be in the school, it can be outside of school. But I really want you to think about getting involved. You're going to be happier being involved, and you're going to find your group, and you learn a lot about yourself. You have to be reliable. You have to be places on time. It's bigger than just you. So if you find your trusted adult, you're yourselves, and you get involved, I think you're going to be pretty successful. I think I speak for all of us. Thank you guys for the memories, and we wish you the best as you move forward on into your career. Thank you.